Blessings to you taking the time to have me in your reality. My name is Cynthia Supratit. I also go by Anurak. Welcome to a space of healing, spiritual perspectives, my adventures, and life. My passionate creative outlets are vlogging, journaling, crochet, and 18+ art. I also enjoy reading. I'm currently obsessed with Dan Brown books. Astrology and esoteric knowledge are my passion and vocation. Please sit back and enjoy my slowly growing editing skills. Storytelling is my primary intention. Thank you in advance for spending time with me.
Doggos. Ooh. You're such a cutie. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Love letter to my kitty. First, I love you. I also like calling you kitty. It's cute and sexy, like you. I apologize for being careless with you, allowing anyone to enter because they fed a lonely ego need. A need that wasn't fulfilled even by a handful. I felt like a live flesh doll. No care if you came, felt good, or even satisfied. No more neglect. No more abandonment. You deserve that fairy tale romance, wanting to know and understand you deeply. You deserve consistency, to be taken care of and fed in bed. You deserve romance in petals, aromatherapy, and candles. You deserve intentional, conscious connections, mature energy, and assertive leadership. I apologize for treating you so plainly and like a fleshlight for mediocre men. I know your worth. I celebrate your worth. Heart leads the way, mind powerfully discerns, and you are a golden prize. It'll take more than just physical attraction, some conversation, mutual interests, and experiences. I allow and encourage you to be pursued. You deserve intentional and personal effort. You deserve to feel like your own movie. I hold you in high regard. My regal gem, protected by a moat with bubbles. Harmful bubbles to harmful intentions. You will get the love of your life and dreams, and they will want to protect and create with you. You will get what you want because I'm patiently disciplined. I love you, kitty. Thank you for maintaining hygiene and balance. Thank you for menstrual moon moments and notices of pleasure. I love to care for you. I love to treat you like gold. You are royalty. You are the creator. I love you, kitty.
The beginning of the month is starting interesting. It almost feels like I'm seeing the effects of my causes faster than from my effects of previous. I'm accepting the process much easier. I'm allowing myself to feel the patience needed in between things. I feel like I'm very focused on the things that I can actually focus on. It's so interesting because I felt myself saying this for years almost. Focus on the present, focus on what you love, and all those things that although I have been doing them, it's almost like now it's all I don't mind doing. There's no more forcing, there's no more proving. And I think that's a big thing actually. A huge thing that I actually uncovered with a conversation with a family member was the fact that I'm done proving myself and I'm done waiting for people to see me. Those two things are huge themes in my life right now. Today brought a huge example of this. Began collaborations with drag queens to market for them. I personally didn't ask anything of them except to send me pictures. That is all I asked of these drag queens. I'm gonna attend the events myself. I paid for the ticket upcoming because I see myself wanting to extend my skill. I know I'm good at marketing and I know I love to market. Now that I can also bring that kind of energy to others, it excites me. It's something I'm good at, and now I get to share that with other people who don't want to focus on drag queens already do so much. Why not have someone market for them? I'm just waiting for my myself to market things for myself until things get going in that way. I don't mind doing it for other people because I really want to. It's almost like a yearning. I've been thinking, I was sitting on this idea for weeks. That's how I knew. The first time I thought about it, I tried to act on it right away and it didn't feel good. Not in terms of like me talking to them, but inside it didn't feel good. It actually felt premature. Like I was like, okay, I thought of the idea, sure, but don't do anything about it yet. Sit on it, see if I even want to do it. And that's a huge thing about me. I do love so many ideas and I used to act on every single one right away. But now I'm like, okay, if I have the same idea for weeks and this is a consistent yearning, this is a consistent desire, I want to do this, I'm gonna do it after the weeks of yearning. But if it's like still within the week, I'm like, I think I could sit on it. I think I could see how it could balance out in my life, or if I genuinely even want to fit it in my life. I'm balancing my own time so much. I truly understand what a lot of wealthy people say when they say wealth is measured by time. It's literally how much time you have control over. That's wealth. It's nothing about money. Well, it is about money, you know. It is about like how much you want to make and how much you are currently spending. Now I get it. I'm tapping so much into psychology of money. I'm also listening to an audible about that. The correlation between making money and my self-worth. Like I do feel that. Astrology babes, I'm getting that second house flavor. That's another thing that lights me up. Astrology is very telling for me who I want in my life and who I want to spend more time around. I love studying astrology. It really lights my fire. I love spending time with it. When people receive it, either like they don't want to hear about it, they don't want to explore more into it, they overlook, ignore it type of thing, it shows me not to spend quality time with them. I do find that how someone views astrology is how someone views about esoteric topics. It does sound broad, but it does give me that. I haven't met anyone who is down for astrology and isn't down for something else esoteric. Whether that be studying any type of religion or studying numerology or anything like that, you know. Those are my people. That's who I genuinely want to. I know that could be a far off niche, or it could not be. Maybe I'm just not around a lot of people like that right now. But I want to be. It feels lonely talking about all these other things that people do want to talk about around me, but I don't care about the superficial stuff. I don't care about who you don't like. I don't care about petty drama. Hey, you hate this part of your life, but you don't want to change anything about it. I don't want to live like that. I do find a correlation that people who are into esoteric things have an easier time of being non-judgmental. Shone so brightly in my face when I tried to bring it up to a family member today. The way they received it, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna wish for my family to change. I'm not gonna even hope or expect them to change. I'm not even at this point gonna expect them to want to know what I'm talking about or want to know my interests or life. I don't care if they even want to be part of it in that way anymore. I'm grateful we're talking. I'm grateful things are civil, but I don't care for them to see me anymore. I'm so done waiting on my family to see me. I'm done. It's held me back literally up until this point. Know how fucking great I am, and if they want to stay where they're at, that's okay. I will let them. I'm not going to try to force them to change at all. I let them. It doesn't mean I have to spend time with them though, because they hold so much depth in themselves that they can hold space for me. There's been so many people that tell me, I want to be in your life, I want to be your friend, and then when I open up my feelings, when I open up my experiences, when I share my interests, I get silence, I get overlooked. So these people don't actually want to be part of my life, they just want my energy, and that's not fair. That is where I'm at right now. That's where I really just want to stay. I want people who are just like, yes, passion, more. And they're filled with it themselves. They're lighting up their own colorful lives. And that's what I want to be around. Color and movement. Rest, of course. But color, movement, balance. I deserve balance. I deserve emotional, intellectual communication and connections, because I hold so much of that. It actually almost feels like a disservice to me to be in these connections where people are not even seeing me fully at how much I can be their friend. They don't want to be a friend to themselves. They can't accept the amount of friendship I can give, and I can give a lot. But it's also not fair to give that and not receive it. I'm really going to be strong on my boundaries. It's fun and boundaries. That's my summer. That's what I'm inviting. That's what I'm calling in, starting right now. It's fun and boundaries. Balance and frolicking. Let's fucking go.
I'm loving this angle. Using the car door, by the way. It's actually the day of the summer solstice. I surprisingly went to this park that you're gonna see clips of. The first time I strolled through this park, there's a little botanical garden here. I searched it up, but I think I first came here in the winter and everything was closed, and I just didn't think about coming here again until the summer solstice. They're hosting an event here. Pay $10 and then you get a crystal bag. Oh my god. Wanna see what crystals I got? I know the lighting's like eh. I got tiger's eye, and I got celestite, I got carnelian and selenite. What is really special is I gave away my carnelian to someone who did a free face painting on me. It was for another event. I was like, oh my god, this was for free, and then I just gave her the carnelian. It felt fitting, creativity, you know. Celestite feels special because I've been really trying to understand my dreams more and trying to tap into the dream world more, learning how to decipher my dreams. Everyone's dreams is so unique to them. Before I gardened often, I had really vivid dreams, so much so that I had a separate dream journal, and it was very detailed. I know my mind's capabilities, and I'm trying to encourage that while I garden. Tiger's eye feels extra special to me too. My grandpa was a tiger in the Chinese zodiac, so every time I see tiger anything, it just instantly reminds me of him. And I know this has always been a crystal name and stuff, but it's a synchronicity for me. Selenite is just so lovely to have as a purifier. What I'm doing lately is when I've been receiving tumbled crystals often from random events I go to and things, so I've been making crystal bags and having them be intentional. This bag, since it's already pre-made, I was like, what can I make this into? And all of this is giving me solar garden. I have specific meanings for the reason why that is. I encourage you, like if you are a crystal collector, you could make your own bags so you could carry these around with you wherever you go, and that's when you just have set energies you want to bring out into the world, or yeah, when you're out of your house type of thing. I'm really grateful for this. $10. Then I walked around a labyrinth. While we walked around the labyrinth, before we walked it, we wrote intentions, and then you walk the labyrinth thinking your intentions, feeling it out. After I put my intention into the bowl that's in the middle, I got really emotional. Instantly had a deep reverence for my growth. I started to cry about my growth. Look at you doing what you're doing right now. Look at where you are right now. Physically, yes, but spiritually, look at where you are. You already are a brand new person. Like, I had to convince myself I already am living in my new season. It's just the fact that I've been integrating for a while, and a lot of imposter syndrome has been coming up during that. I think that is what happens when you go into a new arena, being a new version of you, a more vulnerable, open side of you. I'm so grateful that I finally feel like I know I deserve to be where I'm at right now. I feel so worthy of everything I'm receiving. When I feel like a little bit hesitant, I know it's because there's like an old part of me that's like, but then I feel this new side of me be like, this is for you. Every time I receive a blessing and I feel like almost like, do I deserve this? I instantly say out loud, I am worthy of this, to make myself be in this new version. I wouldn't be receiving what I'm receiving if I wasn't in this new version. I'm learning how to celebrate every day, celebrate something every day. And sure, that might seem like a lot to some people. For me personally, heavy depression and anger is part of my journey. So to even want to celebrate something is so big for me. My default before this week was to succumb to, I'm never gonna get out of here, I'm never gonna get the things I want, I'm never gonna get what I deserve. Like, those are the instant thoughts. Lack, growing up in lack. I did too much. I focused on myself so much. I changed a lot for me to succumb to petty thoughts like I don't deserve that. It's almost like when I get stuck in that, I feel like I'm just in a surrounding that isn't for me. It shows me of a comfort zone. Like, do I want to succumb to exactly what everyone is thinking, or do I want to rise above that? That's something I'm really processing and learning so far. I'm grateful to feel completion. I don't feel like I need to prove anything anymore, yet at the same time, I know exactly what I want to do for a career. Just need to focus on me, literally what I'm doing right now within my weeks. Just continue that. Love to show myself consistency. There's stuff that I want to be consistent with, and I find some days where I'm like, I could just skip that for today. And I say that out loud, and as soon as I say that out loud, I'm like, you're not being consistent with yourself. Like, there are days, of course, where you can give yourself breaks and grace, but in those moments specifically where I'm like, do it, it's because I can feel myself just not wanting to. Just I don't want that kind of lackluster effort towards me, so I don't want to do that to myself. Show up for myself all the time, and when I am feeling tired or sad, I'm not going to force myself to do anything. Feel the communication within myself heightened. I feel way more connected. I'm feeling much more slower. I'm feeling much more calm. There's just a lot happening. There's so much happening that I can feel, that I can also see, and it's just gonna let the universe do its thing while I just enjoy what I can in the moment, every moment. Another default is anxiety, worrying about the future. Catch myself when I start to ruminate on it. It's okay. I give myself grace when I kind of think about it sometimes, like, oh, what am I gonna do tonight? What am I gonna do tomorrow? Like, that kind of anxiety. Like, I really overthink those things too. If it goes beyond that, if it goes beyond 2 tasks at a time, I'm just like, okay, stop. Like, only think of the next direct thing, maybe the next 2, but that's it. Like, my mind was really used to thinking of the next 10 steps. It was really hard for me to just be in the present of things because I already had stuff on cue. I'll be literally story writing, and in my head while I'm writing, I'll be typing, and I'll be like, okay, what am I doing after this? What am I doing after that? It's just, stop it. Focus on the story, If there's any challenge that I'm going through right now, it's focusing. Excited about life. I'm so excited about everything I'm doing, but I need to focus. I'm really excited to continue watching my growth, enjoying taking life as it comes. I'm so worried about why I was living day to day, why I was feeling forced to live day by day through worries of lack, not having money to do anything. So I just have to kind of sit there and work with what I have, eat what I have. Living like that felt harsh. Now I'm just I understand why I did that. When you're in the shits of it, when you're in the thick of things, you don't see why you're going through something. I could literally picture and memorize right now so many moments where I'm like, I don't know why I'm going through this. I don't know why I have no money. Why don't I have even $10 for this? Why don't I have $10 for that? I would be so stressed because I didn't even have bare minimum money for things. And all of that, it taught me proper and healthy investments, to really be intentional with spending. Also taught me patience in a very brutal way, but it was the only way I honestly would have learned. This whole homeless journey, this whole everything taught me so much about how I'm investing now. I'm so confident about my financial balancing. I'm so confident about balancing in general. A bird just fly by. Astrologically, I feel like I evolved my Libra a lot by finding immovable balance. Good. I see what's fair, I see what I can let go of, I see paradoxes, can see the other side of things, and I'm okay with any outcome. I'm so grateful. I'm very honored to enjoy June. There isn't a lot of clips of me being outdoors and about because I've actually stayed inside the house a lot this month. Most of this month, actually, I've stayed inside. Really grateful to have the option to stay inside for as long as I want, to leave the house whenever I want and go wherever I want. Sure, I may not have like $100 limit to spend every day, but it's at this point now where I know I don't need to do something like that. All the stuff that was offered today, there were sound bowls, there were meditations, there were crystal shops, there were things like that to pay for, and I didn't pay for anything other than the entrance. So much for me because there was something I did like at the crystal store, but in my head I was like, I don't need it. And it's not to say I'm being stingy, but there are things, like items that I want to buy, so I'm waiting for those. I don't want to just buy stuff where I see right then and there, I'm like, oh, I just want to get it. I'm really proud of myself because old me would have bought that necklace in a heartbeat. Old me would have just paid for everything that they offered here just because I want to. One thing that I had to learn about money was when I started making a lot of money, like as a server, and then even through OF when I had a period of making money through there, a lot of money through there, I spent it all. Every time I got big money, I spent big money. That's the lack that I had to learn how to go through because I felt like I didn't get what I wanted growing up. My parents weren't around. I didn't get continuous gifts for my birthdays or Christmas. So when I was starting to make money for myself, the way I spoiled myself, it was unhealthy. My inner teen was like, I didn't get anything when I was little. Let me spoil the shit out of myself now. And I racked up a crazy amount of debt. I racked up a crazy amount of debt. I'm so happy I'm seeing the other side of my mental spending. And I trust myself so much that I won't do something like that again. If I received $1 million the next day, that shit is not going to be fully spent. It wouldn't be spent right away. Excited to open up savings accounts, invest. I'm excited to expand my investment portfolio. Like there's so much I want to do to build instead of just spending. I want to save. I want to set up a legacy. I'm so ready to bring my internal world out into my external and see what happens from there. That's where I'm at right now. Finally feel like I don't need to prove anyone, like genuinely feel it. Like there's been so many months where I said a lot, I'm not proving anything to anyone, but with recent conversations and revelations with my family, I realized I was still holding on to proving myself to them. And that's my foundation of who I was proving things to. When I woke up to it, I was like, damn, me and my family right now are very much like, we're not even on the same level in terms of spirituality. Like I see worlds so different than they do, and I can't convince them otherwise. They keep trying to convince me, and that's why I have boundaries, and that's why keeping my distance is still going to be a thing for now. My family still wants to change me. They still don't want to get to know me, and I will just accept that for now. It's okay. But I'm finally like, okay, you know what? I don't need to do this for you guys. Like I don't need to save you. I don't need to heal you. I don't need to prove what I'm doing works and makes money. I don't need to prove any of it. We just see the world different. With that, there was a huge pressure that has been coming off every day since I let them go. This has been almost about a week now. Every day I can feel pressure releasing. Every morning that I wake up, ever since letting them go energetically, I've woken up slower, quieter, calmer, more organized even. It shows me so much. I'm very honored to be where I'm at right now. And I'm so grateful for my journey. It's the end of the month. To conclude really fast, the last 10 days have felt like a huge Saturn going into retrograde in a way. Like there was a lot of karmic dues being popped up in my face. I even had 3 days of straight lack, explosive reactive triggers. On the third day, I had a huge panic attack. 3 days consisted of concerns about money. The first 2 days was just like hunger, lack, spiraling. The third day was because my passport was rejected, actually. Passport was rejected because I was under $50. Had a bill taken out the same morning the passport was there, and it was really hard to admit it, but it was completely my fault. I had money to prepare for it. I just had a day where I wanted to just treat myself. Understand, there was a huge lesson about not doing that. Something I learned in my psychology book is that how you see your savings is how your relationship is with your ego and money. Are you able to save just cause? If you don't have a specific reason why you're saving, you're just saving. It's not to be even stingy either, it's just responsible saving. Do what you want, but you know, you don't have to spend your whole paycheck all the time kind of thing. That's what I'm really freaking learning. Like, I think I've just been so used to not having big paychecks that there was one day where I was like, okay, let me just treat myself. I know that that day I was feeding my ego though. It was completely because I was lonely, I was bored. I just, in my head, I was like, I need to do something different for once. But that just really shows my impatience about what's happening, what I'm trying to call in, what I'm receiving. I felt that impatience leading up to the panic attack. And then after the panic attack, everything just became so much clearer for me. I did this to myself. I could have had money for the food that I was worrying about that in those 2 days. I did have money for my passport, but it was just 2 days prior, before that food concern, I just wanted to feed that, oh, I need to do something different, as if my days are not already different. It's for me to, yes, I have a routine that I am consistent and stable with, and it does keep me grounded, but I also am a person who gets really tired of routine really fast. I just wanted like a huge break of day where I just wanted to complete things completely different. But now that I know my mind kind of works like this, I'm trying to sustainably change things up within my days, not focus on my rising routine so heavily when I wake up. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fit this in my schedule. What am I gonna do after? Like, I'm so precise with my like task to task, which is why it's really hard for me to rest, because I like figure out what I want to do. Like, learning how to just go with what I feel like doing right after the task I'm finished doing. Like, I'm really trying to stay in the present as much as I can. I can feel that my anticipation anxiety makes me want to like seek out new things and do new things. And I think it's because last night I had an epiphany laying there last night. Thought of how I might have my escapism tendency, making moves. Like, I don't have to leave the house as much as I do. I really don't. And I keep making excuses of why I do. I need to burn off that energy I have. I need to this, that. But I think, and with how I felt last night, it's just the fact that I don't want to just lay there and wish someone was cuddling with me. Laid there for 40 minutes and I instantly was like, I wish I had someone to cuddle with. Spiraled into, I wish I had a partner. And it went into like this huge thing, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm escaping from those thoughts. I made myself face them last night. I was actually debating on staying in or going for a walk. I had a plan to wake up early this morning to go to the farmer's market. I was like, okay, pace yourself, like go to sleep. I noticed that, yeah, I'm having a hard time resting because I instantly think I wish someone was resting with me. When am I gonna have this time to rest as much as I want by myself? Trying to rewire it into such a positive enforcement and be like, honestly, like when I have kids, when I have a husband, like I'm not gonna have as much, like, of course I'm gonna still make time for myself, like guaranteed, but it has to be centered around other people. This is actually my prime time where I get to decide I want to rest today. I want to just lay here today. No, I can work hard. I've proven that to myself so many times. I know I can work hard. Now I need to prove to myself I can fucking rest a little bit more. As I did rest last night, instantly I had a new thought, inspirational thought, like horizontal, not resting in a different way. Like I'm literally physically like not moving. That's when the most ideas come to my head. I went into a jiu-jitsu gym. I've been so interested because a new one just opened up. Went there just to see what the flow was. I was talking to the jiu-jitsu people on Instagram a couple days prior because they had an open question about what would you like to ask us, and then I said any tips on people recovering from PTSD wanting to get into technical fighting. And the way they answered it, because they like just said it instead of just replying to me in my DMs, they openly said it, which I loved. But they were just saying, you know, it's more of the comfort thing, like getting used to it and getting out of your head. So go with people you feel really comfy with, or just allow yourself to take time come in and observe. If you really want to see it, just come in and observe for a couple days and then see if you want to get into it or not. I did. I went to it for 2 days on the Friday and Saturday. This is after my lack freak out. Oh, this was actually the day of my passport. I messaged them about the PTSD thing. Their reply was so nice that I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. I looked at their schedule on Friday and I had so much energy and I was like, I'm just gonna go today. And I went. And then I went Saturday morning as well. As I sat there for 2 days, I was like, you know what, I have to prove to myself I want to at least try. So the third day is gonna be my official trial day. Having a membership is not in the direct cards for me right now, but I am manifesting it. I'm like, I would love to be part of this gym, and if it's not this city, like I just want to be part of a technical fighting gym because it's something I wanted ever since high school, like for real. It's been a dream of mine since high school, so I'm really excited that I feel comfy with the people who run this gym. And the way that they talk to me with PTSD and like their concerns for my hand and really wanting to know what it's like and be there for someone who has PTSD. So that support meant everything to me, especially for something super out of my comfort zone after my accident. I'm so determined this is something I still want to do. Oh, after hanging out with them on the Friday, the first day, there was something like clicked in me, a wave of support, and then my heart felt lifted. That same day, I went to walk around the marina at nighttime. So beautiful at nighttime. The idea, inspiration to write a poem to reflect on at the end of the night of my day, like make a poem about my day that I just had. Like, my first inspiration was that jiu-jitsu gym. Like I wanted to write a poem about my experience at the jiu-jitsu gym, like how much I felt supported and what that did for me. I wrote a poem about that. It's my first poem I've ever written as an adult and like actually not in school. If you asked me in January if I was even into poems, I would have said no. Poems are not an avenue that I really go towards in reading it or expressing myself, but then boom, I wrote one. I missed last night, so I told myself, I was like, you know what, don't be hard on yourself for missing something new. So I'm just gonna get into it again. Like I'm gonna start over it. Not like I'm doing a streak or anything, but I'm excited to just write again. Go for a walk now. I'm crocheting. June was definitely giving Cancer season for me, as in like a hermit crab, as in tending to my insides and inner world while my outer shell was going through like a reshelling process. Like I shed my old shell to create a new one in a new arena, and that's how I genuinely feel about June. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I took my patience to another level. I feel fucking calm again. I felt like the last couple weeks I've been really getting anxious about my situation, almost beginning to be an impatient air every day. Even though I released pressure from releasing my family energetically at the beginning of the month, there was like this impatience because I was so focused on where I don't want to be, which is where I am physically sleeping in my house. Like I'm not comfy in the house I'm living in. It's such a hard place, you guys. I really want to be honest. Like I'm so grateful that I get to stay somewhere where I'm not worried about rent, and I have my own room, and I have accessibility to the car and help with food. Like I am so grateful for this. I promise, I'm so grateful. But there's so many different factors that's starting to impact my mental health and emotional health if I keep focusing on it. Was like the past 3 weeks I was so focused on how bothered I've been feeling, so uncomfy, and it was starting to overwhelm me because of those feelings that it was creating a rush. I was like, fuck, I'm so uncomfy, I want to leave, and I pressured the passport thing, but then I pressured myself to go out at the same time, and then just one thing of my instant gratification fail led to another, and I just realized I was like, fuck, if I just allow myself to just take a moment before making any moves so fast, like I wouldn't have faced another passport rejection. Like, you know, I could have just watched and observe things a little bit. But I honestly think at the same time I needed my passport to get rejected again for me to actually see that like ego instant gratification need I was still carrying. I couldn't blame anyone for the rejection. Like $50. I could have blamed the bills as much as I wanted, but deep down I would have known it's just my fault. I'm grateful for this turnaround of quick fast lessons. I feel like I'm feeling like at the end of the I feel like I'm going through at the end of the month. Take it. July is just gonna be a good fucking month because it's my birthday month. It's my birthday month. I appreciate your time and energy for watching these videos. I really love that you watch these. And if this is your first video, thank you for watching it fully through. I appreciate you.